These are three very familiar looking cars. Here we have the 997 Turbo S, for many the definitive all-weather performance GT car. But later this year it's replaced, so is this a farewell Turbo S piece? Slightly. It's also a hello R8 V10 Plus piece, because it now has a double clutch gearbox, a proper gearbox, and 550 horsepower. Now normally at this stage we insert a GTR and say, look, it's cheaper and faster, and it roasts everything else for performance. But that's not a normal GTR. We thought we'd add some price to it. That's been played with by Litchfield, and it has 750 horsepower. So we're going to go to Anglesey and go around the circuit for a bit. Then we're going to go on the road for a while. Then we're going to come back here to Bruntingthorpe and have ourselves a bit of a drag race. Should be a good day.
But before we head to the track, a quick look at these three number freaks. The Audi is the newest car here, but it's really a mild facelift on the outside and in the cabin. Even the normally aspirated V10, now with 550 horsepower and 398 foot-pounds in this uprated version, isn't the big news. No, that's the dual clutch transmission that looks like it might finally complete the R8 package. It weighs 1,670 kilograms, quite a lot for an aluminium sports car, and like the others, it's four-wheel drive. The Nissan is the odd one out here. I figured a standard GTR was so much cheaper than the others, we could allow ourselves some sport and close the price gap with a little aftermarket help. So this car has been lightly breathed on by Litchfield to the tune of 750 horsepower, revised suspension, ceramic brakes and snazzy Nismo seats. We all know the cabin's a bit iffy, but who cares when you're smoking superbikes? The Porsche is often the default choice at this price. The Turbo S's combination of 530 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds, small dimensions, four-wheel drive and a small pair of rear seats is, for many, a clincher. But in my experience, the Turbo S can be more impressive than alluring to drive, and with competition like this, that might not help. At 1,585 kilograms, it's the lightest car here. Anyways, to Anglesey to wreck the tyres. Sorry, I mean explore the handling characteristics and set a lap time.
The Porsche 911 Turbo S. The ultimate representation of the four-wheel drive turbocharged 911. Here we go then, across the line. I'm going to stay in third for this bloody fast left-hander. Bit of understeer, and then neutralise it. Pretty clever actually. Do we need second? We probably do for the first part of this very tight right-hander. It hooks up nicely there, and then suggestion of oversteer on the exit. This very fast right-hander now, understeering through there now. I don't really want to pull it off just in case it does something horrendous to me. Now, 2 turbochargers, that's fast. I don't know how fast we're going, I don't want to look. 130 something. Bloody hell. Stop please, stop please. Down to second for this little flick-flacky left-right. Again, a little bit of understeer, but not too bad. You just have to overslow the car a bit and then use that boost on the exit. There it goes. Love it. What we're going to do here then, slow in, a bit faster out. Oh, that was nice, that felt lovely. Four-wheel drive when it hooks up does feel great. Let's take a second here, try and keep it a bit neat, he says. Up over the curbs and across the line. Of course you can just skid the hell out of it if you want to. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's interesting because it's turbocharged and it's four-wheel drive. It's still a 911, it's still got that balance. A couple of times today it has restricted me from using some of the torque, which is a bit frustrating, I have to say. And I thought the dampers would be better in the sort of harder mode, but they're not. Oh yes. Oh yes. Proper old-fashioned 911. Can't go wrong, can he? Bloody love these Audis. The nicest thing I can say about the R8 V10 is it doesn't feel like an Audi. It sounds a bit cruel, but it doesn't. So, down through this flick-flacking section. What do you reckon? Over the line, second gear? I think we go over the line, second, and then grab third on the exit. We can do that because the shift is so fast. Fourth, third for this quick one. Can't take liberties, mid-engined. Just brush the curb. Third, second down to here. Listen to that. It's the only normally aspirated engine and it's just a joy. Got all the systems off because it seems the best way. Got your sport button on. But you've got to have your sport button on, haven't you? If you're going to go fast. Bit of understeer in the quick bit there. I think that's just the engineers being a bit cautious with it. Christ, again, it feels fast through here. Better get some brake on there. And this is where it's just much nicer than the 911. It's turned in there. It's given me options. There is a bit of understeer. We're on a normal P0 tyre here. It's not a Corsa. Listen to it, guys. Second there to trim it. Maybe third on the exit. Ride it out. Oh, little waggle from the hips. Now down through here, this sort of helter-skelter little sort of carousel-y sections. Lovely. Wide line through here. I love this thing. Over the line. Yes. But it will do that all day long. It's just fabby. I mean, that's supposed to be four-wheel drive. I can give it no higher praise than to say it just doesn't feel like an Audi to me at all. And it's supple, and it revs, and this new gearbox is so much better than that old R8 rubbish that they used to tell us was great. No, it's a lovely thing. You shouldn't be able to do that in a mid-engine DSG equipped car, should you? Whew. So, the Litchfield MF at Anglesey on the short circuit. What's it like? Well, it's a little bit terrifying, to be honest with you, but let's give it a go, shall we? We're over the line in third gear. Got the boost wound up to 1.5 bar, I've got 750 horsepower, and she oversteers over the line in third gear. Take third through here. Get fourth on the way out. You can actually go up a gear because there's so much torque. So we'll leave it in third through this little type one here. It's on a Pilot Super Sport. God almighty, it's fast. The others are a light brake there. It's a proper brake in this thing. Let's let it run out. Now it's, oh my Lord, it's fast through here. to take third there. I don't need to stay in second. I haven't got as much understeer as the others. And when the boost comes in, it's just savage. God, good Lord. Deary me. I don't think I've ever drifted a 750 horsepower car before like that. To be honest with you, I can't talk while I'm doing it because it's pretty full on. You gotta be quick.
On the road, the big surprise is the Nissan. Litchfield has completely reworked the suspension to make it more supple, and in the softest setting the thing is a revelation compared to the eye-rattling standard car. Traction is ludicrous, and the performance, well, let's just say I spent most of the time with the boost wound back to 1 bar, because it just feels wrong to have so much power with the other road lemmings around. No. The GTR's main problem in the UK is something even Litcho's clever modifications can't alter. It's just too bloody big. The Audi is a revelation on the road, easily the most enjoyable if you're not trying to bust the space-time continuum. Throttle response is instant, the V10 yowls, the steering is the best here and it wants to change direction. I just loved spending time in it. The suspension is supple, it deals with bumps, but the car is also flat and alert. In fact, it's so un-Audi you have to keep reminding yourself that it's built by the people who packaged understeer for the masses. It's just brilliant. The 911 is nearly as good, but it falls behind the Audi in a few key areas. The motor is completely lacking in character. It whooshes and chirps, but not much else. When the boost does arrive, it bends your face, and initially that's great fun. But apart from raw speed, the Turbo S is rather mute. It's a one-trick pony, and even though the suspension copes with bumpy surfaces, it loses composure sooner than the Audi and the Nissan. The thing you notice after the Audi is how reluctant it is to turn in after the mid-engine car. It's about respecting the turbo for its speed, rather than loving it for the manner in which it covers ground. Then again, speed is kind of what these cars are about. So I feel a drag race coming on. First up, some individual acceleration runs from 0 to 60 and 0 to 100. The Audi is the most disadvantaged car here, so we'll run it first. The launch control function is very effective though, and before it dumps the clutch you get the most fantastic Quattro style rasp before it scoops. "60" takes 3.7 seconds, 100 takes 7.7 seconds, which is fair enough given the slightly gritty surface. And all the while, it's filling the air with that glorious sound. I like this car. But the 911 takes care of it in a straight line. We couldn't get it below 3.3 seconds to 60, again, blame the surface, and the 7.2 seconds 0 to 100 is a little slower than might be expected, but it's still crazy fast, and it'll do the same thing 10 times in a row, with the driver drinking a can of Coke. But everything bows at the feet of the boosted Nissan. Sometimes it's so gratifying to have the pain exerted on your kidneys explained in numbers. So here goes. 0 to 60 in 2.7 and 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds. Those are the fastest times I've ever recorded in a street car, and the gearbox was happy doing multiple runs. It's actually quite difficult to explain how fast the car feels, so it's probably best to show you what a 750 horsepower Nissan does to Porsche and Audi's fastest in a drag race. I know, it's unfair bunging a tuner car into this test, but sometimes you have to spice things up a bit. The most interesting aspect of the GTR's modifications for me is the revised chassis. It makes the car far more comfortable. Anyone can make a GTR go faster, but Litchfield's made it more usable, as well as stupidly accelerative. Even so, it doesn't win this test, and neither does the disappointingly numb Porsche. The Audi R8 V10 Plus is one of those genius cars we don't see too often. It's involving, engrossing, and utterly addictive. For me, it's one of the best cars of 2013.